built a six-figure business from the ground up, but I walked away from it to become a homemaker. Here's why. Hey y'all, my name is Charlene Bond, and today I want to share my story of leaving my six-figure business to embrace a completely different lifestyle, being a homemaker. A lifestyle that I was not raised up in, a lifestyle that I was not taught. It definitely wasn't an easy decision, and as a matter of fact, it was something that had been on my heart, had been on my mind, that I had contemplated doing, but because of the success of my business and how it was soaring, it was hard for me to do it. But I did it. I left my six-figure business. I'm now a homemaker, and it is one of the best decisions that I've made for my life. If you've ever wondered what it's like to step away from a big career that you're excelling in, or if you've felt called to do something different, I hope my story can inspire you. So there's a few reasons why I made this decision to leave my six-figure business and to become a homemaker. The biggest reason was because in my business, I started to reach a certain point where it became very demanding. And it became demanding to the point where it was stressful and overwhelming for me at times. I had a team and I had systems in place, but the growth of my business was still requiring a lot out of me. And it got to a point to where I had to make a decision. First, I had to come to the realization on how I envisioned my life for the next several years. Did I want to keep this as my reality? The reality that I was in at the time was being overwhelmed, being stressed, staying up late hours working on my business. Whenever there was a situation where my team could not handle a situation like with a client and it escalated up to me, then I would be the one to have to communicate and do different delegations with that teammate and client. It became overwhelming. The stress was just at times unbearable. The lack of sleep, long hours, staying up, trying to fix mistakes. The realization that I came to was that going forward, I could not see my life going the way that I truly desired towards my family, and being in the position that I was in at that time with my business. I thought about the type of family dynamic I wanted for my family, and I discussed this with my husband. There was a lot of realizations that came. Realizations and revelations that came to me about the situation that I was in. One being that the whole time, like from the foundation of my business to the success and growth of my business for over 10 years, my vision on what I had originally founded the business for had changed. For one, I was single when I founded my business, and my goal then was thinking from a single woman's mindset on providing for myself, being independent, growing my business towards a level of wealth and success that I was desiring at that time. When I got married, that mindset should have shifted and changed a bit, but it really didn't. I was still in the mindset that I wanted to create a business that I could pass on to my children and leave a legacy. And in marriage, what I realized is that that is not solely and primarily my responsibility. Because when a woman gets married, she is to partner with her husband and come under her husband's care and provision. So thinking from that same mindset was something that I had not realized into marriage. I still wanted to leave a legacy and pass that business on to my kids, but my husband, to be honest, was not included in that vision. And that is something that I had to learn, grow and mature as a wife to realize. And it started with the discussion of my husband. Like, I literally had my husband, I'm so thankful God blessed me with him, to be my husband, because he literally told me, he was like, why are you so stressed and overwhelmed with this? Meaning my business. You shouldn't be like, that's not your job to try to grow your business in order to bring income into this family. It's not your job. And another thing that I was trying to do was, I was trying to grow my business for it to run on its own. So when we had our family, I had, like, my business was running on its own, but it was creating the income, the wealth that would be available to support our family. And that was completely all out of alignment. Completely all out of alignment. That was not my responsibility. And so in the conversation, like, my husband, he helped me see that. He was like, it's my job to make sure that you're able to stay at home and raise our kids. It's my job to make sure that you and our kids are provided for and you have the things that you need. And so that conversation with my husband was very important, and it was just like a light bulb went off, like stuff that I had not been taught. Like, I had not been taught that. And I know it's a lot of women like me out there where we have been taught to go after a career, go after college so we can get the career and excel and climb the corporate ladder, or climb different levels of wealth in order to provide. But the thing that is not being taught is that, what do you do? How do you navigate when you come under your husband, when you get married? And so that was a big pivotal point in my mind, that I had to renew my mind around and actually just realize I wanted to give my family and my children, our children, a level of care, dedication, intention, and priority that I felt like I could provide them. That's not to say that focusing on career, from that standpoint, is not providing or is neglecting your child. By no means am I saying that. But what I am saying is that if your priority is your career, growing your business, like, that's your number one priority, to where it's you're going after that and sacrificing your family, sacrificing your the nurturing and what you're instilling, like, in how raising your kids. If that is being overshadowed by seeking growth, success, and climbing a corporate ladder or reaching different business milestones, then the reality of it is that something's going to be neglected. Something is going to be sacrificed. And for me, I didn't want my children and my parenting sacrificed in that way. I didn't want to, like, for one, I wanted to be home with my children, because the reality of it is when you're home with your children and you're being intentional and you're present in their upbringing and in how they're raised, that provides a great influence for your children. Anytime we allow others to do the primary role that we as parents are supposed to do, we as mothers are supposed to do, then that is someone else influencing. That is someone else being the primary influence for our children. And so I wanted to be the primary influence for my child. And I wanted to be at home so that I can care for them and make memories that they will remember and cherish as they grow to be older. Another reason why I left my 6-figure business to become a homemaker is because I felt a deeper calling in my role as a wife, the calling to my family, and in my faith. A lot of times when I was running my business, because it was like my number one priority, like I would wake up with business on my mind. I would wake up with creative ideas that I wanted to go ahead and implement on my mind. And so, to be honest, God was just thrown to the wayside. Like my time with God, my time with the Bible, reading the Bible, my time with prayer, and just waking up and thanking God for blessing me with another day at life, another chance at life. Like that was thrown out the window. I was not doing that. What I was doing is I was waking up with my business on my mind, getting ready for my business at hand, and then going to my home office to do business related things, to delegate to my team, to say good morning to my team, to see if there's anything in any way that my team needed me. And a lot of times I would get caught up in the daily activities of the business. Meanwhile, the Lord is looking and like, okay, she forgot about me again, but that's okay. I'm going to keep her and work with her. I felt like that's what the Lord was really doing by giving me grace, because even in that, He still let my business soar to heights that I did not even, like when I first started, I couldn't even really wrap my mind around like how I was going to do it. And the Lord allowed me to reach those levels and reach that goal. I realized chasing career success in my business was costing me my mental health, joy, and family. There is actually a couple pivotal moments in my life during that time that really even still hits home for me, and that really, like, I just remember like it was yesterday. And so the first pivotal moment is that every day when my husband would come home from work, I would be in my office doing my business, running my business, and he would be looking to spend time with me, his wife. A lot of times I would wake up early and be in my office, and he would be getting up to go to work. He would leave out, and that, he would leave out. We say our goodbyes, give kisses, hugs, and then that was it. But then when he returned home, guess where I was? I was still in my office working on my business. And I remember he would knock on the door, come in, and he would ask me, are you almost done? And I would say, yeah. I would either say a few things. I would say, yeah, just let me, I'm trying to do this right now, and then the almost done moment would never come because I would get caught up in my work. Another thing would be that how I would another way I would respond is, not right now. I really need to finish this project because XYZ, and because I had to correct some things. I had to, I had responsibilities in my business that I needed to do. And at the time, like, my husband was desiring to see me. He's been gone all day, and he would want to see his wife, but I would be in my office. And so it was like, you know, that's the family life that I could not see myself having going forward. And that's why I left my six-figure business. To be honest with you, like, that was a pivotal moment. Another pivotal moment was when I actually seen, like, my mental health shift, and I experienced something I had never experienced before. Anxiety, uh depression. Honestly, it was a mental breakdown, that I had from several different things. On one end, my business, it's succeeding. Although it's succeeding and going very well, my family life with my husband, let's just be real. My relationship with my husband, I'm thinking everything was okay. And on the outside, it looked like it was, but on the inside, from on my husband's standpoint, he was missing his wife. Like, when a man gets married, they get married for a reason. They want a wife. It says, in the Bible, it says a man that finds a wife finds a good thing. How can you be a good thing and you never present for your husband? That was me. That was me. I did not want chasing my business and growing it without any boundaries. I did not want it to cost me my marriage. I didn't want it to cost me my family. I didn't want it to cost me my mental health, which God is so graceful to where God allowed me to see the areas that it was affecting, although it took a while. He allowed me to have a mental shift that I had never had before, a mental breakdown to where things were revealed about my business, and just the place I was in life. It made me really consider what's valuable to me. Is it my business and money, profits, or is it my family and being a woman of my home? And so I chose my family, and I chose to become a woman of my home, because I had no idea what homemaking was. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I was not a woman of my home when I was excelling in business. I was not. My home was falling by the wayside. It was not being managed properly. Meals were not being made. Just everything that instills in homemaking, that wasn't it. I was not a homemaker. The homemaker wasn't making making anything besides making money in her business. Some people thought I was wasting my talents and my degree from leaving my business and becoming a homemaker. But I see it differently. I spent 4 years getting a degree, and I'm no longer using it. I'm not using it in the way that people think I should be. And that's okay. That's not my problem to please people. It's my problem to please the Lord. And I heard very clearly from God that He wanted me to shift, renew my mind, and become a homemaker, become a woman of my home, be a stay-at-home mom, and focus on expanding our family. I have a desire to do what God has called me to do, and I have a desire to be who God has called me to be, as a wife, a mother, as a woman. Becoming a homemaker after excelling and building a six-figure business has not been easy. It has enabled me to really reflect and develop myself in ways that I did not realize I was falling short in, that I needed growth in and maturing in. It has revealed things about myself spiritually that I've had to work on, renew my mind around, and persevere through. Going from busy business work days to becoming a homemaker has been challenging. It's honestly been a major adjustment, but it has been very valuable. And I would say it has been not only very valuable, but just as valuable, if not more, than succeeding and prioritizing my business. I enjoy homemaking. It is way less stressful than my business. It is very purposeful, and it gives me joy to care for my home and family. So that's my story. I hope you enjoyed it. If you've felt called to make a big career shift or life change that requires you to stepping away from your career, stepping away from the business, or even downsizing some, so that you can be at home with your family or um, care better for your family, I want you to know it's okay to follow your heart, what you're feeling you should do. I also encourage you to pray about it. Seek the Lord on the ideas that you have, on whether you're in a career, you're at home, but you feel like there's more that you have been called to do. Seek the Lord on it. If you are working outside the home and desire to be at home with your babies, with your family, seek the Lord on it and ask him to give you direction and provide resources and ways that can be attainable for you. Let me know in the comments what big shift you've made, or if it's something you're considering. Let me know. I would love to know what it is and discuss it with you. Don't forget to like this video, share it with another woman that might be encouraged by this, be inspired by this, and be sure to subscribe if you want more content on homemaking, faith, and intentional living. Until next time, take care.